Welcome to The Impossible Shift. I'm your host, Jennifer Benson. Every person has a story, a moment that changed them, a challenge that tested them, a choice that shaped who they would become. On this podcast, we explore those stories through conversations about healing, identity, resilience, purpose, and personal transformation. We'll uncover the lessons that emerge when people face life's most difficult moments and choose to keep moving forward. Because transformation rarely happens all at once. It happens one choice at a time. Thank you for joining us. Let's begin. Welcome to The Impossible Shift. My name is Jennifer Benson. I am your host today, and I am thrilled to be able to introduce two wonderful guests with me today. Olivier and Megan are the co-founders of Pure Love Frequency, a heart-led movement dedicated to creating spaces where people can reconnect with their true nature and discover the love, wisdom, and wholeness that already exists within them. Together, they facilitate transformational experiences, retreats, community gatherings, and online conversations that support deep healing, authentic connection, and personal awakening. Their work is rooted in the belief that beneath the noise of conditioning, fear, and separation lies a profound truth. We are far more connected, powerful, and loving than we have been led to believe. Drawing from their own journeys of transformation, healing, and self-discovery, Olivier and Megan share honest, grounded insights on relationships, emotional well-being, purpose, community, and the collective shift unfolding in our world today. Their approach blends deep compassion and practical wisdom, creating spaces where people can feel seen, heard, and empowered to embrace all aspects of themselves. Through Pure Love Frequency and their emerging project, The Gold is Within, they invite others to remember what they have been seeking has never been missing. The gold has been with them all along. And with that, I'd like to welcome them. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Jen. Really good to be here today.
So, where do we start?
Impossible Shift. I love this name. It's really been fun to play with this idea of what are the shifts that I've experienced, that you, Megan, have experienced in our lives that have really expanded us, and brought new experiences of life. And I think that when one commits to a life that is different, then that's when these shifts occur more and more. If I was to pin it down to one, I don't think I could. I think there have been many shifts along the way. And I've seen that in your life too, Megan. I wonder if there's anything that's top of mind at the moment.
I was just thinking how, in a way, how different our paths were until we met.
Mm-hmm.
And also there's like a real fundamental sameness in what's always been true for each of us. For me, it's always been here, like consciously, like I've always known this feeling that I have when I sing, and the feeling of when something feels really true and when it doesn't. And that I kind of feel like my whole life has been the journey of that, like the journey of becoming more and more consciously committed to that. And I feel like what we create is that it doesn't always need to be cognitively understood. In fact, it often isn't cognitively understood. But there's something that just comes, and I think that's something that is like a really beautiful thing that we both have, that we're able to just kind of just open ourselves to just let love flow through and let that be an expression and kind of like a channel transmission through the way that we communicate into the world in our work, but also that commitment to more and more being dedicated to that in our personal lives, like in life, just in life generally. So when I was really little, I would sing, like just kind of, I didn't know what it was that would come through me, just sounds that put me in a heightened state. And I would just find myself like with tears rolling down my cheeks. Like when I was really tiny, I can remember this. And it just felt so good. And I haven't taken a kind of conventional path really in any way. Because it's like this essence, this kind of force in a way, has been like a guiding light for me all the way through, and has taken me through times of deep inner dwelling, I suppose I could say, through what would be classed as chronic fatigue and chronic fatigue, I guess. But it allowed me a listening space. It allowed me a space to really hear tone and transmission through myself in a way that I probably wouldn't have done if I was doing a regular life, working in a regular way and socializing in a regular way. Like the regular way has never been my way. I don't really know why I'm saying this. I suppose it's you spoke, Olivier, about the shifts, and I feel like I haven't really had that necessarily of like shifting from a space of convention into, wow, there's more. It's like I've always known that, and that wasn't always easy, as a child and as an adult, but it's always led me to the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I love how you have that knowing. You always know. I think that's something that's I've learned so much from, is to listen to that knowing. Because for me, I did have that pretty conventional start to life, a very loving start to life, which I'm deeply grateful for. But yeah, it was, school, work, career. And not to listen to the voice so much, like I still did, so I worked as a high school teacher in Australia for 15 years or so. And I always wanted to get out, it was like I wanted to take the kids with me if I could, so take them on excursions, because that's when they were real. I remembered when I was a kid, that's the stuff that I loved, and that's what I remembered from school, was going out of school and going into the world. So I always wanted to take kids out into the world. And also as a teacher, like, there was opportunities. And when I realized that, I can use this platform of being a teacher to go and have a lot of fun in different places with different people, different countries, it was really exciting. And that actually stood me in really good stead once I left teaching, to realize that if I dreamed it, then I could allow it to come true.
Australia is a big one for that, isn't it?
Yeah, the dreaming. The indigenous people speak of the dreaming that has never not been, and never will not be. Like it is this eternal dreaming. And that's been a beautiful gift from that land, to realize how powerful dreaming is. It's like the dreams that we have, they're dreaming us as much as we're dreaming them. And I absolutely love that feeling when these dreams come into reality. And actually, it's not like there's a moment where they're birthed. It's like they've always been here. It's like when you have a child or a niece or a nephew, like someone you're really close to, or a loved one, like our life together, Megan, it's like it's always been here in my life.
It does feel like that. Mm.
Yeah. And as you were mentioning, Jen, in the introduction, the gold is within. It's like it's always been here. Everything that we want to experience in life, it's here. It's here. That moment of stopping, of looking outside, of searching for it outside of oneself, is such a powerful moment. I don't know if I'm 100% there, totally there, but I know I'm mostly there. It's like realizing, my experience is my experience. I'm creating this. That's been a big shift, a really big shift for me.
I remember learning about radical responsibility. I don't know if it was called radical responsibility, but it kind of had that feeling when I was doing my degree in creative expressive therapies. And in one of the modules, I guess it was a psychology module, there was this piece about like really holding responsibility for everything that is occurring. And I suppose the way that I would probably word it now is everything that happens through me, like the way life is lived through me, or the way that I, express myself in life. Everything that you could put the words of like happened to me. It's all like not like this heavy, like, oh, it's my responsibility. I have to carry this heavy responsibility. It's like it was so liberating in the moment that I started reading about that stuff. It was like, wow, there's nothing else. There's nothing else. There's no one to blame. There's no one to like trying to get anything from. It's really knowing that this is all me. Like I can let everyone off the hook. Not that I could like have managed to do that all the way through my life, but it was like a moment of, wow, I'd never really, like I hadn't understood that before. I hadn't really heard of that before. And I feel like that's kind of, I'm bringing it up because it feels like it's in resonance with that it's all within us. Like the gold is within. We create as we go. It's almost like I'm kind of imagining like as we breathe, like the landscape around us unfolds, like the carpet's kind of thrown out in front of us as we move. And it's really like it feels really abstract, but it's really amazing, like to realize there's no need to waste energy anywhere else.
There's no separation. There's no separation. Everything we see, everything we experience is us. I've been playing a game actually recently when I'm out, and we live in a beautiful part of the world in southern Portugal. And looking around, if we're walking on the beach, if I'm cycling to town, I look around and I see I'm manifesting this right now. Everything that I'm experiencing, I'm manifesting it, I'm creating it. It's a really fun game to play. And it feels joyful. It feels joyful. And the reason I feel that it is so joyful is because we are joy. People often talk about unconditional love and how love is unconditional. Joy is unconditional too. We are joy. That's our natural state.
I really see that in you. You do that really well.
Thanks. Yeah. And, to allow this joy just to flow through is, it's not only wonderful to experience it, like to live in that frequency of joy, it's such a gift to others, I feel as well. To live the frequency that we want others to live in as well. I want that for everyone on this planet. Live in joy and freedom and wonder and abundance, because that's who we are. Like each of us, that's who we are.
Do you feel like joy has like led you to each place in your life, each kind of new chapter?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like listening to my heart, you know, like leaving teaching, 2012, you know, it was the end of the world. Great, might as well get on with something. I really want to do this. And that was my heart. You know, my heart was telling me, yes, there's joy to be found there. My mind totally disagreed. It was like, what? You're giving up this salary and, you know, all these things that we name as giving us security in life. Yeah, but it was just, I just had to do it. I just had to follow my heart. And it felt so joyful, like every step of the way, every unfolding of the synchronicities and the serendipities along the way that led me to meet you, Megan. Like, wow, like if you wrote it in a book, people would go, oh, come on, that's a bit stretched, isn't it? A bit far-fetched. It was just so miraculous and magical.
What, when you lay down like all the kind of the bits that allowed us to meet.
Yeah.
Olivier and I played a sound bath together for the first time in, is it 2014 or 2013? Anyway, somewhere around there. We'd never played before together. I'd gone along to a sound bath that he was doing, and a friend had said, "Come on, it'd be really great. Come and see." And I hadn't really felt to the first time, but I decided to go the second time. And after that, we decided, like after a conversation, we decided it would be fun to play together. And you suggested, Olivier, that we just play the next sound bath together. He'd never heard me sing or didn't know if I was at all musical, but just felt it, I guess. And it was incredible. Yeah. It was really incredible.
Yeah. And I love to, you know, so many people are like, how long have you two been playing? It's like, what, an hour? That's it. But they felt the synergy, didn't they, between us? And the love between us. Like there was this, you know, we call it, you know, pure love frequency, what we play. And it showed itself from the very beginning. Yeah. And led us, didn't it? You know, it was like very soon, we were doing a retreat in Portugal and we were off to the Glastonbury Festival to play in the healing fields there, and events were just showing up for us to play. It was the dreaming, you know, it was like it was already in place, and we just allowed ourselves to come into this flow, this timeline, this flow of energy. And I think that's key to knowing oneself, like knowing what your heart is saying to you, knowing what your heart wants.
That's a big one. I can actually remember sitting on the bus on my way to sixth form college, or maybe it was on the way back because probably something had just happened. But I remember this thought of, I'm never going to let that feeling happen again. And it was just like this messy feeling of like, I know now looking back that I can kind of language that as that I had felt something, not listened to my intuition, and then it just got messy. And I just remember feeling like that, like I'm done with that, and I'm going to really give myself to intuition. And it took a little while to really kind of trust that I could trust this. But once I really gave myself to feeling that, I guess what you're saying, Olivier, like really having a sense of like, my heart is speaking to me. Like I can feel what is being asked for, or what feels like a yes. And from that moment, things just got so much, things got so much easier. Like on the front of making decisions. Before that, I was a shocker at making decisions. I couldn't make decisions because I just don't function from that cognitive space. Like I can go back and forth and have all the different, like gather all the data and analyze it all. And because I can't get a feel, because I'm not in the feeling space, it just doesn't make sense. Like ultimately, it doesn't really make sense, or it doesn't stick, you know. But yeah, when I gave myself to really, I guess you could say, following my heart, listening to my intuition, things really did start changing in like how I was able to just get through my day, you know, without having crazy like paralysis around decisions that would probably be deemed really simple decisions. And I remember hearing sometimes people would say, oh, I trust my intuition for like the small things, but I wouldn't for a big decision. I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Yeah. And it's really like it's always guided in the right direction. And I feel like it's had that like following our hearts has had a huge impact on how we have come together and moved through this life together from when we met.
Yeah.
Well, I am in awe. This has been, you both have just left me speechless with your story. I feel like we didn't have enough time.
Oh, that's surprising.
I might have to have you back on the show because I know that you do music. I would have loved to have had time to listen to some of your music. I think I'm going to ask you to probably come back again if you're open.
We'd love to, Jen.
doing
We'd
that.
love to.
Yes, I think your stories, like your reflections, all of it was just phenomenal. I really am grateful to have you on the show. And I hope that my listeners really got a lot from it. I think the perspective is great because you're coming from two different directions, but you're landing in the same place. And that's unique and that's interesting and it's insightful and there's a lot of love there and a lot of purpose and a lot of hope. And I think that it will resonate with a lot of people that are looking for purpose, looking for hope, and looking for love, you know. So for those of you that are interested in finding more about their journey, check out the podcast description. There you'll find more details about them as well as their links. And I want to thank you so much for joining us today on The Impossible Shift, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Thank you for joining me for this episode of The Impossible Shift. If today's conversation resonated with you, I invite you to share it with someone who may need to hear it. You can learn more about The Impossible Shift, explore resources, books, coaching, and upcoming projects at theimpossibleshift.com. Until next time, remember, choice is your power. I'll see you at the next episode.